Captain Foley and Commander Cockings are back, guys. How you doing?
Hello.
Kind of excited today. We have a new shorter show. It's called One Hit Wonders, where we look at the one-offs from the Star Trek universe.
I'm excited, Stuart.
Yeah, so am I. We take a look at the cool, unique, and the just downright weird one-off ships that pop up over Star Trek history. Today we're looking at a ship from Voyager, the Devore warships from Season 5, Episode 10. So it's off to the Delta Quadrant we go. Whew.
That is a long way for our first jaunt, isn't it?
That's because we're awesome.
I'm sure we'll be fine. So, like I said, Devore warship, made by the Devore Imperium.
Yeah, first recorded by Voyager in 2375.
Now, we're going with rough estimates here, but it's estimated about 700 to 800 metres long, which is about 3 times the size of Voyager, which is 344 metres. And to give you some context in the greater Star Trek universe, it's even longer than the Sovereign, which is only 685 metres. It only comes close to the Dominion Heavy Cruiser, which is those big Dominion battleships, about 762 metres. So it is a beast in terms of Star Trek ships.
Wow. Yeah, they usually travel in pairs, as one ship would be a challenge for Voyager, but roughly equal in firepower. But two together are quite formidable and can easily outgun most starships. That's why they tend to travel in pairs to do their routine patrols.
Isn't that almost cheating, though? Just like, just send 2, it'll win every battle.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? I'd want to win too.
Straight. And like you just said, they usually travel in pairs of 2, patrolling Devore sectors and its borders. But there's usually a dozen or more ships hidden in easy striking range, sometimes in Mutara-class nebulas.
And they're an extremely xenophobic race.
Not xenomorph, yeah? Xenophobic.
Yeah, I know. I almost said xenomorph again. Which are quite intolerant of telepathic species. So they routinely hunt for them. Any ships passing through their space are stopped and randomly inspected.
And from what we saw in the episode, it's 0 tolerance.
Yeah.
One of the cool little bits we saw in the episode that's very tech, and I quite like it, they have refractive shielding, which is something I think unique to them as far as we saw, roughly. It's not cloaking technology, but it's similar to our stealth planes that we have now, so sensors hard to detect. And they also feature redundant systems for shields and weapons, making them very hard to actually disable in combat.
Now, the Devore warship was built and designed by Brandon McDougall, who was also the designer for the USS Prometheus and the Cardassian Galore class ships.
Cool.
So some pretty important ships in Star Trek history.
Cool, yeah. And in the episode as well, we saw another Devore ship, the Devore Shuttle. A little bit different in design, quite similar to Delta Flyer. It was about 6 meters long and was designed for a single person. And
the patrols, work in conjunction with a series of detection arrays, which regularly scan for vessels passing through. So they got their bases covered as far as ships going through their territories. So
back to the diffractive shielding for a sec. As we saw at the end of the episode, it can be worked against the Devore sensors, which have limited sensor range. So why didn't Voyager keep it? We don't know.
All right, guys, let's move on to the discussion part.
Okay.
I rather like the overall look of these ships. The design is very cool and definitely like a modern-day stealth plane, which I like, the matte black finish. I do find it rather amusing, however, that a ship 3 times the size of Voyager is basically equally matched with them.
And it is meant to be a warship. It's not like it's some sort of freighter.
Yeah. Although the technology from the Delta Quadrant usually, as a rule, is a little behind Alpha Quadrant tech. So, and to be fair, the Voyager is a tough little ship, so...
Go Federation team. Yeah, I like the design too. It's quite simple and does look militaristic. Based on its shape, like you said, stealthy. I think it definitely feels and fits that. It's kind of unlike Star Trek designs, which is sort of why we're doing it. It's different, it's interesting. And especially the outside wings, I guess you call them, which my theory, because I always have a little theory, don't I? Maybe hangars. That's what I think. Because, I mean, like you say, it's 3 times the size of Voyager, and Voyager's not a small ship, but it's certainly a decent-sized ship. So this bigger ship, why not it be a patrol craft and a fighter craft as well? So suddenly you have 2 of these ships, and you just send out massive fighters. I think it'd be quite a dangerous big ship at that point. So that's why I think maybe.
Yeah, cool. And that's a good idea, and they could use them for different situations too, as needed. So... I really wish we could have seen more of the Devore ships, especially different classes of ships, maybe something a little bit smaller, maybe something bigger.
Yeah.
Although this ship is a great design in its own right. And the only thing I'm not really happy with is the shuttle. It kind of looks almost like the Delta Flyer, so it doesn't really fit in with the whole
or the time ship, the Aeron, the Aeron shuttle which is totally other galaxy, other design
exactly.
ethics, so it's a bit weird. Maybe it's
just
the sort of the generic shuttle design that they went for if they just couldn't be that creative at that point.
Yeah, it just doesn't really fit in with the Devore aesthetic. It should have been like matte black and kind of the same. It would have been cool as a little fighter kind of shuttlecraft. But
yeah, so like you said, the only thing I don't really like is how limited their appearance was. One episode, not really enough, especially with the Captain Janeway romance subplot. And one thing I've got to say, I think the ship is a little bit reptilian. The scales of the hull, little bit, and it would have been interesting to see their other ships, capital ships, freighters, whatever, see if that aesthetic had continued and what they could have come up with, because it's quite an interesting little design. Would have been interesting, but they're a little bit simplistic. That's the only maybe negative I'll give them, a little bit simplistic, but
yeah, I agree. Although I got to admit, I really do like their uniforms. I thought the uniforms were cool, so I would have liked to see more of them, basically. Yeah. So I guess that's it for the Devore ship, eh?
Oh, short but sweet.
Well, that's what these episodes are going to be. Yeah. So introducing the next one-hit wonder we're going to look at. We're going to look at the ancient Bajoran solar sailor, or the light ship, the one that Cisco built a replica of in Deep Space Nine. So with this new series, instead of we still do a versus, but this is kind of different. We're going to pit this ship against a ship from a different Star Trek series.
But of a similar sort of class, not something ridiculous. I couldn't pit you against a Borg tactical cube.
Well, no. But so it's your turn. You got to pick a ship from a different series, something cool, and let's get at it.
So, because this ship was designed by Brandon McDougall, I thought I'd versus with one of his other ships, the Galore class. That's right, Cardassians versus Devore. Let's see who can win. So who goes first then?
So I guess this is the Devore versus the Galore. It rhymes.
The audience loved that, I'm sure.
Somebody in the back is laughing. I can hear it.
Thank you for the sympathy laugh.
Okay, I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
So with my refractive shielding, I can kind of sneak up on you, and you won't even know I'm there right away because it kind of blocks sensors. So a little bit of a tactical advantage that way. Plus, like you said, this is your suggestion. We got squadrons of fighters available.
Damn it.
So launch a few squadrons of fighters. So you got like a little dogfight going around your ship. I'm sitting in the back waiting to see what happens. You probably pick off a few fighters. I might nail you with a few weapons afterwards. I don't know. I think I do really well, actually. Okay,
well, Galore's a reasonably powerful ship. Not as powerful as other Federation ships, but I think more powerful than an Intrepid. And therefore, if it's one of you versus one of me, which is fair, I mean, yes, fighters would probably give you a bit of an edge. I think definitely a squadron would be able to take out some crucial systems, blah, blah, blah. But I've got quite a few weapons. But then you've got those damn redundancies, haven't you?
Plus, we always travel in pairs, and I got 12 other ships nearby me.
Yeah, okay, fine. The Dominion backing me up then. Fine, let's go ridiculous. It's 1v1. You just...
Oh, this is a full-scale Dominion war? Deep Space Nine battle? Let's go.
God damn it! Fine, no, but in 1-to-1, I think if I had some concentrated fire, my phasers, my disruptor, I think I'd do quite a lot of damage to you. But with your hull armor, and I think you probably your second layer of defense and your fighters, you'd probably be able to take me out quicker. I don't know. I think if it was no fighters, I think I'd win relatively straightforwardly. But I think with that added advantage, I mean, it's all about strategy, isn't it? If you attacked my weapon system, what can I do at that point? So I think this is quite an even fight, but
then again, the Galore has alpha quadrant technology, which is more advanced. So this is an equally matched fight, I think. So I don't know.
Would you really call the Cardassians an advanced species compared to some of the others?
Militaristic-wise, yes. They would definitely focus on their weapons being powerful. Yeah. So
okay. So basically, a reasonably fair fight, but I think if you had the fighters,
maybe a bit of an edge. So maybe I win this time.
Unless I've got the Hidekis and that sort of squadron, but that's not the same ship, so yeah.
Well, let's just agree that this is maybe a tie.
Okay, let's go with that.
Because this is the first actual real legitimate tie I think we could have so far. So,
but if you had a squadron of your ships, if you had 4 or 5 Devore and I had 3 or 4, do you think that would make much of a difference?
No, I don't actually. I think it would still be a pretty fair fight, especially like you said, if we have fighters. That just outnumbers you so much.
I mean, with the size of your ship, I mean, you might have several dozen fighters. Oof.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a tough one to call, my friend.
Okay, let's go with a tie.
But we're speculating on the fighters, so let's just say you maybe have the upper edge because of your Alpha Quadrant tech. So
Okay.
I guess you win.
Win by default.
Cardassian!
Awesome. Cool. Well, yeah, that's the Devore.
Cool. So hope you guys enjoyed this One Hit Wonders show. We're going to going with new schedule, so you guys already know about that. So as always, check out the Facebook Trekyards page, trekyards.com, and follow us on Twitter. We have a Twitter account now, so and yeah, we will see you next time.
And definitely let us know any other one-hit wonder ships you want to see. The single unique ones. I mean, we've got to find these. They're special. These are the ones you can really sort of ask us for because they're quicker to make. You know, we can get them out. And if you have a special one you want to see, even if it's ridiculous, because we are doing some ridiculous ones, because we've got to, haven't we? Let us know, and we'll get to that. All
right, so there you had it. First One Hit Wonders episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Captain Foley and Commander Coggins.
Oh, Commander Coggins, baby.
Signing off for now. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.